Hi there, this is Lori Edge-Hughes, and this is your 4-Leg Rehab Minute. And in today's minute, I want to talk about outcome measures that matter for a post-op Achilles tendon repair. Okay, so this is one of those where I think, you can likely come up with a whole pile of outcome measures, but really what matters? I've got such an interesting case right now I'm working on who's doing really well. Knock on wood, more wood, knocking on lots of wood. I think that's wood. Doors are wood for sure. Okay. He's doing great. And I will turn him into a video at some point in time here. But what is really interesting is, as we track him and we look at what's important as an outcome measure. So from our perspective, I'm going to start off first with from a advanced imaging perspective. Likely your diagnostic ultrasound is super useful with these ones to see, actually what's happening to the fibers in there. So yes, that's a fantastic one for sure. Now, from a rehab perspective, because on the animal side, I can't do that. Guess what, guys? On the human side, we can. Just prepping you for maybe that comes down the road. Real-time ultrasound to see how things are going, not for diagnosis. Okay, back on topic. But from a real life, what I can do in clinic, quick and easy. Weight bearing. So I do like my stance analyzer for this. I want to see how well the dog is weight bearing on that leg. Okay, it ties in quite closely with thigh circumference. I do like thigh circumference let's do it so it's up, right side up. There we go. I do like thigh circumference because, again, I think that tells us if the animal is using the leg. You don't grow muscle by doing nothing. So if he's using the leg, then the thigh circumference is likely growing. And remember, if you're looking at thigh circumference, likely in the early stages, the non-surgical, the contralateral leg has likely got really big, and then the surgical leg was really small, so I've got flyaway. So at some point in time, right, you've got the surgical leg grows to catch up, and the non-surgical leg shrinks a little bit so that they are then the same size. Okay. You could look at doing hock circumference and or even just on some of these, the width of the Achilles tendon. And for those of you not in America, here, we'll use the centimeter side, so I don't want to confuse you, right? So the width of the Achilles tendon, because in the early stages, it's going to be big, fat, and thick, and as it improves, it will shrink up a little bit and normalize as the tissues normalize in there. This is one time when I think goniometry is useful. A lot of times I hate goniometry, right? But this one does tell us then, and especially in a post-op when everything's really, really tight and I want to get more bend, I want to see more flexion in that tarsal joint. So my goniometer is very helpful in letting me know that, because the dog won't sit proper if he doesn't have enough flexion range of motion in the hock joint, meaning the Achilles tendon has to be extensible enough to allow that flexion. Okay, so there we go. As compared to, let's say, a post-op TPLO that, unless it's significantly reduced, who cares? Like with that end range of motion doesn't really affect function. We know that from people, so just kind of letting you know that with the dog wise too. But Achilles tendon, so yeah, have one of these. What else? Okay, I've got my notes right there. So what else? Lameness, posture, and gait analysis for symmetry. So even just watching to see if there's lameness, I love the videos. I can slow them down or film them in slow-mo, and you can watch and see, oh, we've got a little bit of a hitch, a little bit of a butt bob, less push off, less stride length, all of that we can note. this is my case, and she'll be watching this, but anyways, he's so interesting. So we are now doing slow-mo videos, watching him jump over jumps, watching him jump up onto a platform, so we can see, is he compensating, is he twisting, what is he doing to get his leg up to where he has to go. When we started jumping practice, we tried him at a low jump height, looked good. We tried him at a higher jump height, and he was compensating because he had to relearn how to jump and how to tuck his leg up, right? Using that flexion. So super, super helpful. Now, I suppose you could then also look at functional recovery. Okay, so in that, even just writing down, how they're doing. Are they functioning well? Can they trot a certain time without looking more lame? Are they doing stairs? Are they jumping? Are they now at off leash? Are you allowing off leash for 5 minutes? You're increasing that to 10, and so on and so on. You likely could turn that into one of the functional scales, right? If you were wanting to publish papers on such things, from a practical perspective, I don't really care if I put a number to that. Between the owner and I, we care. Yes, look, he's doing stairs. He looks great. I don't really care if he went from a functional score of 23 and now he's at, 32. What is he actually capable of doing? So I write that all down. It's subjective, but it's important. So anyways, this whole point was to make you think about what outcome measures are you taking note of and what outcome measures matter functionally to your animal in front of you. Okay, so that's it. Until next time, cheers.